I have a Bloody Mary story time, and yes, she's real.
Story of four friends that claim to have gone to the bathroom and summoned Bloody Mary. And this is their story.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
Spooky season, beware the bones. They move like spirits, here they come. Don't be the girl who feeds a clown. They'll drain your peace and drag you down. Spooky season, beware the bones. They move like spirits, here they come. Don't be the girl who feeds a clown. He'll drain your peace and drag you down. Lady crusty bite the no free stay, no red flag.
Hey y'all, welcome back to All Things Jenny. I'm Jenny and welcome back to another episode of Spooky Storytime, and happy Halloween. So I was going through Reddit, Let's Not Meet Again, and I came across a story about Bloody Mary. So Bloody Mary is a legend that has been around for ages, and from multiple different people, they have claimed to summon her. Basically, you have to go in the bathroom with a candle, and you have to say her name about 3 times to summon her.
I have a Bloody Mary story time, and yes, she's real. The person who submitted this wants to remain anonymous, so we're gonna call her Anna. So when Anna was about 6 years old, her older sister locked her in the bathroom. Her older sister was about 5 years older, and her whole being pretty much revolved around tormenting Anna. Now, the bathroom that she was locked in, the door opened outwards, so her sister closed it and propped something behind it so that Anna couldn't push it open. Also, the breaker of the house was in the hallway, so when Anna was locked in the bathroom, her sister also shut off all the electricity in the apartment, so Anna was stuck in the bathroom with the door shut in complete darkness. Her sister was on a mission that day, and she told Anna that the only way that she would let her out is if Anna looked in the mirror and said the name Bloody Mary 3 times. Anna was practically begging her sister to not make her say it, but at the time, Bloody Mary was a craze in school, so all of the kids were constantly doing it in the public bathrooms, and Anna always saw that nothing would really happen to them. Being that she was so terrified of the dark, the fear of the darkness outweighed her fear for a demonic spirit, so she decided to look in the mirror and say the name 3 times. The minute she said it, she yelled for her sister to let her out of the bathroom. Once her sister opened the door, Anna ran out of the bathroom into her room, dove on top of her bed, and started crying. The minute her mom got home that day, Anna told her mom what her sister did, and her sister ended up getting in a lot of trouble. But this is not where this story ends. That night, while Anna was in her room, she started to feel this feeling of dread at the pit of her stomach. It was almost like all of the air had been sucked out of the room and she was suffocating. In the distance, she started to see what kind of looked like the shape of a human walking towards her. Now, mind you, at this point, Anna can't move, she can't speak, she can't do anything, she's paralyzed. As the figure got closer, she could see that it was a woman with long black hair covered in blood. Anna was trying to do everything in her power to get away from her, but she still couldn't move when out of nowhere she felt a grip on her shoulder of this cold, clammy hand. She then felt Bloody Mary's face right next to her face. She was so close to her that she can feel her breath on her cheeks. Anna then started to shake violently from the fear and peed herself because she was so afraid. She then felt Bloody Mary's nails going down her stomach, kind of like cutting her open. This finally made her open her eyes, and she was met by Bloody Mary's face right next to her face with dark eyes and a huge grin with blood dripping down her face. Anna then finally woke up and was relieved to realize that this had all been a horrible nightmare, until she looked down at her stomach and saw that she actually had a cut straight down, almost like done with an incision knife.
This is one of the scariest urban legends, the legend of Bloody Mary. Legend of Bloody Mary is America's most scary yet popular urban myth. And exactly what is the legend of Bloody Mary? They say that she was a witch named Mary Worth who was unalived during the Salem witch trials, and her spirit haunts anyone who chants her name. And the legend goes that if you stand in a dark bathroom, you look in a mirror and you chant Bloody Mary 3 times, she will appear. Now, there are different versions that I've heard. I've heard that she will appear staring at you through the mirror covered in... I've also heard that she'll reach out and scratch your face. scream the ugliest, loudest scream, pull you into the mirror to never be seen again, and simply just appear. The reason why I'm scared of this is because I do believe that mirrors act as portals to the paranormal and supernatural world. I personally wouldn't play it. And this is a game that many people have played during sleepovers, while playing Truth or Dare. But the big question is, can she really be summoned? Is this urban legend true? Or is it simply just psychological? I have received a few stories claiming to play the game and that they actually saw something, like it was definitely weird, but I don't know. Have you played Bloody Mary? If so, what was your experience? Let me know in the comments. And if you like all things spooky, all things scary, and all things paranormal, make sure you follow.
This guy says that when it was summertime, he would spend a lot of days at his cousin's house. They would spend a lot of time riding their bikes through the neighborhood or just playing with the toys in his cousin's bedroom. However, the most favorite thing that he loved doing with his cousin was at nighttime because they would allow them to use the computer. He says that they would go on YouTube and look up ghost videos or like scary stories, anything paranormal. So when he was 9 years old, the summer came and he went to his cousin's house. And that was when his cousin tells them about a game he discovered on YouTube called Bloody Mary. And his cousin explained to him that they needed to go to the restroom, turn the lights off, look into the mirror, and say the name 3 times. And that by doing this, the spirit of Bloody Mary would appear in front of them. He says that obviously it sounded very scary, but they were too curious and playful that they decided to go to the restroom and play the game. They didn't want to do it in the outside restroom just in case they got caught by the parents, so what they did is they went into his little cousin, who was 5 years old, restroom and decided to play in there. He says that the little cousin's bedroom always gave him the creeps because it was filled with all these dolls and toys and he just didn't like dolls. Both of them went to the restroom, closed the door, and between laughters, they did end up saying the name 3 times to the mirror. After saying her name 3 times, a few minutes passed and nothing happened. So his cousin said, hey, maybe we should try it again. However, for whatever reason, he said that he felt like if something wasn't right, that maybe they shouldn't say it another time. So he did tell his cousin, hey, maybe we shouldn't do it again. Let's just get out of here. His cousin thought that he was just being a coward and he was scared, so he said, okay, let's try it again, and if nothing happens, we can go. He agreed and they were gonna do it again. They said her name once, they said it twice, and before they can say it a 3rd time, they heard a very loud sound coming from outside the restroom door. He admits that when he heard that pounding outside the door, it made him jump and he screamed and he was really scared. After a few seconds, they decided to open the door very slowly. They didn't know what was gonna be on the other side, and honestly, what was on the other side was something that they never expected. When they opened the door all the way, what they saw was all of those stuffed animals and dolls that had been on the walls and around the room lined up, sitting down, like just in a line outside of that restroom door. He said it was weird. It almost felt like if they were all staring at them. And as soon as he saw that, he didn't even have time to think about anything else. His cousin started screaming and crying and he ran out of that bedroom, and he doesn't know how he managed to even move himself, but he also started crying and running after his cousin. He also says that in the house was only him and his cousin because the parents and the little cousin had gone out to get dinner to bring home. When the parents finally came back home, they went into the little girl's room and noticed that all of her toys and stuffed animals were just scattered about as if somebody had just thrown everything. They were no longer in like that line. And obviously they got mad at them for doing it, and when they tried to explain to them what happened, what they did in the restroom, they didn't believe them. He says that they really stopped talking about it. They don't even mention it now that they're adults, and after that summer, he still continued to go to his cousin's house, but they refused to step foot in the little cousin's room, much less that restroom. Today, he is 23 years old, and he still would not dare to go into that room or even play that game again. That shit is crazy, but what do you guys think?
I received an email from someone that played Bloody Mary as a kid, and what ended up happening next still gives her chills till this day. When Lily was about 9 years old, she went away for the weekend to spend it at her friend's house, Gracie. Now, Gracie's parents were usually out of town because they worked a lot, leaving Gracie at home with her older sister, who was only 14 at the time. When Lily got to the house, Gracie's older sister decided to bring out a Ouija board to play with the girls. The girls at first did not want to play because they were scared, but Gracie's older sister was very persistent and decided to kind of go along with it. After some time, they became too afraid, so much so that Gracie's older sister got upset, took the board, and just kind of threw it without saying goodbye. Right after, she then asked the girls, do you guys want to play Truth or Dare instead? Without even thinking it,
Lily says yes and goes, dare. Gracie's older sister then goes, okay, there's a closet upstairs that has a mirror in it. I want both of you girls to go upstairs, shut the door, turn off the lights, and chant Bloody Mary 3 times. Without even thinking it, like the girls went upstairs, they shut the door, turned off the lights, and started to chant Bloody Mary in front of this mirror. Now, mind you, neither girl thought that anything was really going to happen. They thought that it was just like all made up. So they just kind of did it. The minute they did it, absolutely nothing happened. It just kind of stood there. Just when they were getting ready to leave the closet, they hear this blood-curdling scream coming from the mirror. The girls are freaking out, trying to get out of the room. And when they notice that Gracie's older sister has the door shut, so they can't open the door, then they look at the mirror and they see that there's blood oozing from the top part of the mirror. This gets the girls really like freaking out at this point, like they're fighting for their life. When Lily looks at Gracie's arm and sees that Gracie has a giant scratch from like here all the way down that just appeared out of nowhere. Just then the door finally opens and the girls run out. When they look at the mirror, the oozing blood is completely gone. It was like it was never there. But Gracie's arm still has that thick gash from here all the way down. I mean, till this day, now they're adults now. Till this day, Lily's friend Gracie still has a thick scar on her arm from that experience. And ever since then, Lily has been terribly afraid of any sort of mirror. She was told by people that I guess there are certain things that you're supposed to do if you come across Bloody Mary. I've never personally come across Bloody Mary, thankfully, because I've never like requested to come across her, but I have friends who play the game and they have stories of their own. Are there certain things that you're supposed to do if you come across her so she leaves you alone? Like if you know about these things, definitely comment down below. I have another Bloody Mary story time. The person who submitted this wishes to remain anonymous, so we're gonna call her Kelly. When Kelly was about 13 years old, she was spending the night at her friend's house. At this sleepover, it was just her friend and her friend's older sister, who was about 17 years old at the time. All three girls were going to pretty much be home alone until about 10 p.m. when the parents got home, so they decided that they wanted to bring out the Ouija board and start to play because they got bored. Now, mind you, her friend's home was known to be haunted, so they were hoping for something crazy to happen once they started to play with the Ouija board. Right. After some time goes by and they continue to play, they realize that nothing is really happening. So they decide to put the board aside and amp it up some more and go and try to summon Bloody Mary. They set up a camera in the bathroom, light up a candle, look in the mirror, and say her name 3 times. The minute they did this, they heard a loud crash. All 3 girls ran from out of the bathroom into the living room, scared. Once they got to the living room, they realized that the bedroom light was on, when all 3 girls know for a fact that that light had been shut off. At this point, they decided to just hang out in the living room until the parents get home because that whole scenario really freaked them out. Once the parents got home, everything seemed okay until that night. They all ended up going to bed at around midnight. Soon after Kelly fell asleep, she got woken up by a loud bang coming from outside the window. She opens her eyes and sees a woman standing in the window with long black hair staring into the bedroom right at her. She starts to freak out thinking there's no way this is real. I must be imagining on this. Like this can't be real life. So she starts to wake up her friends. The minute her friends wake up, they all jump up and look out of the window, but this woman is no longer there. They all end up falling asleep right after this. Soon after, Kelly gets woken up now a second time by scratching that's coming from inside the closet. At this point, she's had enough and decides that she needs to call her mom for her to pick her up because she cannot spend the night there. From that point forward, anytime she goes and spends some time at her friend's house, she has some type of experience. She hears a noise, she hears scratching, but thankfully, whatever it is, does not ever follow her when she goes.
Tell me a ghost story that sounds completely unbelievable, but is entirely true.
I'm Heather, and I want to talk about how the day of my 13th birthday, my friends and I opened a portal, and it theoretically ruined my life for 4 years. Yes. So the morning that I turned 13, me and one of my best friends, we'll call her Jay, went down to the creek that I grew up. We're in a middle Georgia area, lots of land, lots of flowing water, heavily indigenous populated. We would find Native American artifacts all the time. So we're going down to this creek and we're looking for like little fish and tadpoles and all these other things. So while we're bent over, we hear something slide into the water behind us. We both look at each other and scream and run up the hill, and by the time that we look back down from the creek bank, It's this big black mass. Let's just call it a canine mass. It wasn't like a wolf or a coyote or a dog. It was big, it was hulking, and it was black. And when I say black, I mean just dark. It was a mass. And in hindsight, I think it was actually like a warning of what was to come and not a threat. Of course, we interpreted it as a threat. We thought a dog had come up on us. We ran to the house. My father went down there, didn't see anything, no footprints, no paw prints, no nothing. But I know I saw a black canine mask at the bottom of that creek, panting over that water as we ran up. So let's fast forward to that night when my other best friend, we'll call her C, showed up. Now, C was playing in like the spiritual witch. I believe she's a self-proclaimed Wiccan today. She was playing in that realm of reality when she suggested that we should play Bloody Mary. So her, Jay, I, and my sister all went up to my upstairs bathroom that connected to my closet through a laundry room chute. Yes, bougie, I know, but we had a laundry room chute. So none of us were brave enough to go in there with C. C went in there by herself with a flashlight, and we hear C chant the Bloody Mary. She does it the 3 times. You hear her flick the flashlight, and then we heard this just horrific scream. And by the time all 4 of us had tumbled to the bottom of the stairs, C was in front of us. She was so scared by what she saw, she beat us down the stairs. So what ended up happening was C saw hands when she turned on that flashlight. She saw hands wrap around her, and that's when she ran downstairs and was terrified. All of that night we stayed up. We did not stay in my room. We stayed in a pallet on the floor in the living room, and we just kept hearing footsteps all upstairs all night. This continued for 4 years. So whatever it was, I believe it was some kind of trickster spirit or entity came through that mirror portal. It haunted me for 4 fucking years. So fast forward to about a month later when the trickster entity finally showed itself to me. I was laying in bed and I heard crying. Now my sister, she was known to cry out during her sleep, so I thought maybe it was her. So I went across the hall. She wasn't crying. It wasn't her. By the time I got back into my room, I realized the crying was coming from inside my room. Remember that laundry room / closet I told you that butted up into my room? There was a girl figure. I don't think it was a girl. I think it was a trickster spirit that would just morph into whatever would scare me at the time. I saw a girl figure in a nightgown, huddled, no face. That's another thing. You would never see a face, but I saw this huddling, rocking motion, and I heard the crying. So of course I run downstairs. I tell my mom I'm terrified. I don't sleep in my room, but I keep hearing the walking and the knocking upstairs, and that continued for years, to the point that I would have a radio that I would have to play in my room to even get any sleep, because this entity, this thing, kept me up. It thrived off of my stress. My aunt would try to bless the house. We went through so much trying to get rid of this thing, and it just didn't. And I have additional stories. So another time, Jay spent the night with me, and this was about 2 years in, and this entity was getting stronger and stronger. No, I don't think it's demonic, because it was a harsh presence, but it wasn't like this overwhelming evil. It was just annoying. It was just an annoying presence. You always heard the footsteps, always heard the knocking, always heard things to keep you on edge. But this night, Jay came to spend the night with me, so I'm about 15 at this point. And we got unnerved enough that we ran downstairs. Now, remember that laundry room I told you about? That laundry chute? It's about to come back into play. So we run downstairs. We're terrified. My sister had been telling us she'd been hearing these things too. So we know that this shit is getting worse. It gets to the point where the knocking and the walking is so bad that we actually see a shadow, because where we were in the kitchen, we could see the stairs, and we saw the shadow of this figure at the top of the stairs. So we're scared. We're thinking it's coming after us. We immediately run to my parents' room. In that process of running, I happen to look over at that laundry chute, and I see the bottom half of a girl figure with that nightgown hanging out of that laundry chute. Jay saw it too, so no, I'm not making this up. So of course we tell my parents. They're unsure. Years later, my mom agrees that she saw things like that too. So there would be times me and my sister would be at school and she swore it was us at the top of the stairs, only to realize it was a weekday and we weren't home. So this entity was definitely showing itself to everybody. But the strangest thing of this whole story, so that was my whole high school career. It's just anytime I tried to study or do anything, this entity would just keep me unnerved, keep me up. The only time I was ever in my room was sleeping, and again, I had to have a radio on so that it wouldn't disturb my sleep. But all of this came to a crashing halt on my 17th birthday when that home burned down. Okay, so that house burns down on my 17th birthday, no lie. What ended up happening was when the fire department did their report, they said that it was an electrical fire around that laundry room or upstairs bathroom area. What I think happened is I think that the energy in that house built up so strongly over a period of 4 years, and I think the house just burst. And that's, again, my opinion. But again, I have the fire report explaining that the fire origin was in that area. It was in that area of the home. Luckily, nobody was in the home at the time. Everybody was fine. Yes, that was hard going through high school on my 17th birthday, having my house burned down, but I made it, and I made it without that entity. It's never haunted me since, so I do think it was attached to that home, to that mirror, to that portal. But this is my warning. Please do not play with those things. It is not a game. That was a horrific 4 years that I went through for a game for someone that didn't even live in that house and have to go through what I went through. Bloody Mary is not a game, and if you were interested in spiritual numbers, I do think 13 has a significance. I even wonder if 4 years has a significance. And yes, I think that black mass that Jay and I encountered that morning in the creek was warning us of what was to come, and I didn't listen, and I will listen from now.
I came across a story of 4 friends that claimed to have gone to the bathroom and summoned Bloody Mary, and this is their story. It's called The Dare. It goes, it was the first Friday of October 2009, right before Halloween. My friends Tasha, Monique, and Keisha were having a sleepover at my house. The power kept flickering that night from a storm, and someone thought it'd be fun to summon Bloody Mary. We had seen it on YouTube, but Tasha insists that the real version came from an urban legend that her grandma would tell them. Tell them. And she says if you say her name 13 times in front of the mirror and light a candle, she won't just appear. She'll claim something living. We set up the candle in the bathroom around midnight. The air felt heavy, and it smelled like iron and perfume mixed together. I remember Monique joking, if she show up, I'm going to ask her for clear skin. We stood in front of the mirror, hands linked, and said together, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. After the 10th time, the candle flame twisted sideways as if someone blew on it from inside the mirror. We kept going. By the 13th time, every single light in the house went out. In the pitch black, we could see faint silhouette in the mirror, but something was off. There were 5 instead of 4. The 5th one stood right behind Tasha, smiling. Her eyes were black, like holes, and her mouth stretches too wide, as if her cheeks were being pulled apart from invisible hands. Tasha screamed, and when she did, the candle went completely out. The next thing I remember, we were waking up on the floor. It was 2:17 a.m. and the bathroom mirror was cracked right down the center. After that night, everything changed. Tasha's reflection started moving differently. She'd look away, but her reflection would still be staring straight ahead. Her mom said that she'd been talking in her sleep in a voice that is not hers. By the end of the month, she stopped coming to school altogether. Her mom told us Tasha was having violent seizures. Her body was contorting like she was being pulled from the inside. Then one morning, right after Halloween, the local news said a girl had been found in her bathroom, drowned. Her mother swore that she heard laughter echoing through the house right before she found her. They said her eyes were open, staring at the mirror. A week after the funeral, I went into my bathroom to wash my face. The mirror that had cracked somehow looked brand new, smooth, clean, untouched. But when I looked into it, for a second, I saw her, Tasha, standing behind me, dripping wet, whispering, "She's not done yet." Since then, I never kept my mirror my mirror uncovered at night ever again. That was actually pretty interesting. I've actually heard of, the stories of Bloody Mary. So many people have claimed that they have summoned her. And honestly, as soon as I heard that, she will claim something living, I want nothing to do with it. Because what do you mean? You could even, get an animal for the animal to serve as the something living, but if it doesn't want the animal, it's going to take a person. What do you mean? And why did you guys continue? I don't understand why people get so influenced by, peer pressure, because what do you mean? First of all, it's storming outside. Secondly, you have to go and speak to a mirror in front of a candle at nighttime in the dark. That's already recipe for disaster. I don't even know why people just be playing with the dark. I don't understand. What do you mean? Bloody Mary has been around for so many years. And apparently the true origin of Bloody Mary is something about the lady's period, okay? When I was reading about it, I was like, look, the whole story that they've been putting together about Bloody Mary is not the same at all. So I'm very, very shocked that people are making up these stories. Well, look, I don't know if this story is made up, but if it is, my heart goes out to Tasha's family and, RIP to your friend. But I could have told you something like that was going to happen. I could have told you that, you know what I mean? So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and let me know if you've ever actually tried to summon Bloody Mary in the bathroom. Maybe you got bored, you and your friends are having it's the same situation that when people go and play with the Ouija board just because they're bored, right? It's the same kind of thing. A lot of people are just, they want to test their faith, and I'm here for it. Just keep it far away from me, because I want nothing to do with it whenever you summon or you bring something darker into your world, Anyways, guys, talk to you later. Let me know what you think about this story, and I'll be back with the next story. Bye. Hey guys, I'm Jenny, and this is Shameless Plug. So I want to tell you guys about my Crown of Success manifestation book with easy, simple rituals and spells to manifest a life of abundance in your life. And those spells are so easy, even a child can do it. So this book is filled with different spells that I've learned over the years from my family, passed down from grandma and everything. And also those are spells that I've actually tried and I know that they work. So this book not only teaches you step by step on the things that you can do that are so easy that a child can do it, but it tells you like the proper moon phase to use, alchemy, manifesting with numbers, numerology, and also the days of the week that best fit for this particular spell. So it tells you the timing of when to practice the spell, the days of the week, the moon phase. It shows you all the colors of the candles that you should be using and different planets. So for example, I show you like planet Jupiter is for Thursdays, and the hours of the days that you should be doing the spell. So this is an easy road opener spell. So I know a lot of people like to do like different spell work, but if your roads are blocked, of course your spells are not going to work. So it's good to unblock yourself first and then start using the spell, especially with the new years and the new days to come. And also I have some amazing spells in here. This is a powerful quick money spell. So if you're in a bind for some money and you're just trying to get some money, and I even have some easy powerful spell to win Game of Chance. So if you are a gambler, now I don't promote gambling, but if you are a gambler and you're just trying to make some money and trying to make sure you win, these spells will definitely help you. It tells you the best days to do it. So it says the best days to perform this spell is on a Thursday, Jupiter day. Jupiter is the planet of good fortune, luck, and expansion. Jupiter is the best day to perform spells that boost luck and increase your chance of success in any game of chance or any money spell, period. It has a list of so many spells that you can incorporate in your life with this new year to bring prosperity. And I even put some bonus spells on here, which for Saturday is a day to do like protection work. So I have a spell for like send back to senders. So I put some bonus spells on here, and then a protection with Archangel Michael. So there's so many spells on here. Removing the evil eye spell, so you can remove evil eye in your money and also in your everyday life. New Year home blessing spell, and I know it's been a few days since the new year started, but you can always do a home blessing spell any days of the week. as long as you need it, you could do it. So anyways, guys, this is my book. It's called Crown of Success by Jenny, and it's available on Amazon, the ebook and also the physical copying. So please grab a copy if you're interested in supporting this channel. This is a way to support the channel and to support me as well for putting out, you know, content every day for you guys. So enjoy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this book, and I hope you go and grab your copy, whether it's the ebook or the physical copy. I say have a physical copy, but it's really up to how much, you know, your wallet and what you can afford. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Mwah. This is a shameless plug, so just check out my channel, okay? Love you guys. Mwah.